TJSU, thank you, Eshamomo, for that interesting interview and conversation, especially on the bill to regulate social media. All right, back here in Lagos, we will continue our conversation, and Olamide Odekule is standing by to bring us stories that are trending now. Olamide, good morning. Very well, thank you.
It's Wednesday. Let's pick up the pace with some juicy stories.
All right.
We've got some good ones for you guys. Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has our finger on the pulse and our eyes on the street. And if it's a trending story, we're going to bring it on here and chop it up very professionally. In our first story, do you remember the boy who went viral for standing in front of Peter Obi's convoy during the 2023 elections? Well, he's now allegedly behind bars in Kirikiri Prison. Yusuf Alami was allegedly picked up on his way from work and accused of theft and street fighting, claims that eyewitnesses are saying are false. Now, supporters believe he's being politically targeted because of all the attention and gifts he received during the elections. The case is now with the DPP, and the court is awaiting legal advice on how to proceed. Of course, social media activists are also going to visit the boy alongside his mother on Thursday. And for a young boy who once symbolized hope and youthful courage, it's a sobering twist of fate. And his supporters are now calling for justice, transparency, and his immediate release. This is very interesting, but I want to focus on the fact that what happens after a viral moment? What are the implications of viral moments and the realities of these viral superstars after they've gone viral? What is their life like in their communities? But let's take a look at social media. That picture was legendary, I have to say. Fisayo says, a case of stealing and fighting will never require the Department of Prosecution's advice because it will be tried at the magistrate court. I suspect what he's been held for is a capital offense. That somebody is a national symbol does not mean they cannot commit a crime. One person says, at Peter Obi, good evening. Sir, kindly help us use your voice to seek for the release of this young man. Please, sir, kindly come to his aid. Interesting. Moving on in our next story. Honestly, this story is quite heartbreaking. A 30-year-old woman, Cynthia Chizoba Oguzie, tragically lost her life in Lekki, Lagos after a water tanker fell from a scaffolding and crashed through her roof, landing on her while she was fast asleep. Now, she just returned from work and was resting when the unthinkable happened. Luckily, a man claiming to be her brother has shared the videos online and is raising awareness about the aftermath of this. And he says that no one is taking responsibility. The landlord is pointing fingers at the engineer and the property owner who both live abroad. And he's saying that they trusted the building's maintenance to that same engineer. They've hinted that substandard materials might have been used, and authorities are now looking for the engineer for questioning. It is a very painful reminder of how dangerous negligence can be. One moment you're sleeping in your house where it's supposed to be your safe place, and the next it is a death trap. Now, negligence in construction and poor quality control is costing us our lives. My issue here is that we clearly lack a maintenance culture in Nigeria, and it's costing us our lives. And with the high and exorbitant rental rates, we're paying so much. If one person had just gone to that water tanker and because of maintenance culture and seen that something was wrong, this could have been avoided. She's now passed away, and it didn't have to happen. But let's take a look at social media. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Edo Wizard says, you can't be too careful in this country. Stay in your lane, mind your business, etc. See someone that was sleeping in her own comfort. Death still came to take her, all because of some carelessness of another greedy human being. Now a life has been lost and nobody will be charged for it. There will be no justice. We'll take one more tweet. Mark Soldier says, I hope they have arrested the engineer and the contractors already. Guys, or should I say gang, can you imagine sleeping in your bed and a water tanker falling on you? Her body was exposed and essentially crushed to death.
Such a sad one. This is really sad. And I say this all the time. Some of these houses you see in Lekki, they are death traps. Like you go to houses and you can see that the POP is already shaking. And first of all, maintenance culture is really, really bad. You'll be begging caretakers to come and look at what is happening in the house. And they forget that human beings are sleeping there. I think that the caretaker needs to be arrested and also the contractor as well. The landlord needs to provide all these people. May her soul rest in peace. This is quite a sad one.
Yeah. I totally agree with you because I call them katikati, you call them caretaker though, because of the nonsense that majority of them do. The owner of the house is saying that he entrusted the house, to this maybe agent or caretaker, and then he probably had used substandard product. They have to do proper investigation, and this person's must be brought to justice if it is discovered that truly they did not do what they're supposed to do. The first story you read, the guy who went viral during the electioneering, the fact that you went viral doesn't mean that you cannot commit crime. So proper investigation also has to be done. We should not, approach issues with sentiments. But if we found that this guy was wrongly, incarcerated, of course, people must just, face the music.
Yeah. All right. I'm also taking up that story. It's sad to see that someone was just, picked up and arrested. On what basis? If you were there proof that he went to steal, unfortunate that this is happening to him, but investigations should be carried out, and he should not be incarcerated beyond 24 hours if there are no proof that he stole or whatever accusations they have against him. And those who say that it is politics, I don't know why we try to paint everything as politics. We politicize everything. He is not a national figure. He only was there at that point, and that picture was taken. We do not know if he's a member of that party, but I think that due process must be followed. And to the lady who died, may her soul rest in peace.
Well, when that photograph was taken, he was below 18, so he definitely wasn't a member of the party. He's just been in the right place at the right time, and there's one photographer taking the right photograph, and the guy became so popular. And for the lady that died, everybody that has connection with that building should be arrested. Landlord, engineer, caretaker, whoever. Even the mason that put the blocks together, the welder that did that stuff, everybody. These are the kind of stories that bring out the emotions from somebody. How can you be on your bed? Where else would you be? And something came and killed you. It's very sad.
Thank you very much for your input. Nothing is sadder than losing a life that didn't have to go. But I'm moving on in our next story right now. So, Abia State is making some bold moves that are definitely worth paying attention to. The government has just rolled out a Made in Abia policy. So basically, all goods and services used within the state must be sourced locally. That means no more outsourcing or importing what can be made right there in Aba. The goal here is clearly to boost local industries, create jobs, and keep the economy thriving from within. It is quite ambitious, I have to say, but honestly, it's a smart play, and that is not all. The education sector in Abia is also getting a serious shake-up. The government has made it clear. Education from primary to JS3 is completely free in public schools, and students in SS1 to SS3 only pay a small tuition fee of 3,300 naira. And the governor has also said that any school head or principal that is caught charging extra, illegally collecting fees or levies from these students and their families, will be heavily sanctioned. The message is loud and clear. No one is messing with Alex Oti's policy on free tuition. It's bold governance like this that Nigerians love to see. Now, in terms of the Made in Abia policy, there's going to be a lot of pressure on the government right now to heavily fund and invest in small to medium enterprises to fill in those production gaps of supply and demand. But luckily, Alex Oti is inspired and he loves industry. Just last year, he hosted the International Trade Fair for Aba, and he's known to heavily invest in local businesses. So this is very doable and plausible by him. But let's take a look at social media. I love to see doings, no be cho-cho-cho. Obi says, my governor, I drove through Abia last Christmas, and what this man has done to the road network is unbelievable. Imagine each senator, local government et al. Using public funds for public good. We love to see it, Obi. And Essay says, this is a governor. Please, sir, just create a platform for students and parents to send their complaints. Very important. And hopefully they create a channel for that and start paying our teachers more so they have less incentive to cheat on this school fees issue. But in our final story in entertainment news, Burna Boy, as usual, is not holding back, and he's ruffling some feathers again. The Grammy-winning star has come for Nigerian artists who think that local fame is the peak of excellence. He implied that success in Nigeria is not worth celebrating, and he claimed that 1 million streams in Nigeria only brings in a measly $300 to $400. Meanwhile, artists abroad are cashing out $3,000 to $4,000 for the same amount of streams. He's also advising his fellow colleagues not to let Nigerian social media polls and fans deceive them, stressing that they won't fill up stadiums for artists globally. He's now facing backlash for downplaying the importance and support of Nigerian audiences in the global music scene. Still in the entertainment world, his colleague, Afrobeat superstar Davido, is focusing on family life. In an interview with The Breakfast Show in America, he says that he's done cheating and that his white wedding to his partner, Chioma, is happening in Miami by August. Take a look at what he had to say.
And doing that. So I'm doing my white wedding in Miami in August.
Oh, I thought you did the wedding.
That was traditional.
Oh, they said that was like a national holiday in Nigeria.
What? Crazy, man.
I was girls crying like, "Oh my God, he's off the market."
I can't believe it. Yo, that was like, you know, you ever tell, I said I don't want anyone.
No.
I said that nigga, not Davido. I said that nigga, not Davido.
I'm okay. I'm on my envy swag right now, man.
But you can add more wives to the roster if you want to.
If I want to, but I don't.
Yeah, because
you too much wahala. I have four kids. I have 5 kids and 4 women with 4 women.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So you already know.
So you done? That's it. I want to go home.
I'm sweating already.
In terms of Burna Boy talking about the streams and the Nigerian audience, the numbers don't lie. And I think we need to look at the numbers before attacking him. But before I take my last few tweets, I'd like you guys, and I'm not going to give up hope, I'd like you guys to please chime in on the conversation. I trust that one day you will tag us with the hashtag trending now on TVC on any social media platform. Who knows, you might take one of your tweets or stories one of these days. Let's take a look at 1 or 2 tweets on this entertainment issue. Something says, Davido promising 24/7 live. And someone said, God will continue to help him to be faithful. Davido has seen Tekken.
All right.
But you know, I'm going to quickly just move on the story of the governor of Abia State as well.
Interesting, Olamide, those stories that you have mentioned and the fact that Davido and all of the issues around entertainment and the other stories there quickly because of our time. I hope that, like he rightly said, that he will continue and not cheat. And then for Alex Oti, kudos to him. I believe that all will be done as soon as he puts things in place. But we need to wrap up the show now. Unfortunately, we do not have time to comment on all of these stories. But we must thank you for being a part of the show. And remember that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies, and afterwards this morning,